In a world where love knows no boundaries, one person's quest for authenticity ignites a passionate debate. When navigating the complexities of polyamory collides with friendship, the question arises, should we hide our truths to spare others' feelings? Join us as we dive into this thought-provoking story that challenges societal norms and explores the delicate balance between honesty and empathy. I am 38 years old and polyamorous. I have been openly polyamorous for 11 years. I have two partners. One is 36 years old and I have been in a relationship with him for 20 years, and the other is 34 years old, and I have been in a relationship with him for 7 years. Both of my partners know about each other, and we are all consenting adults. Everyone involved in my life knows about my two partners, including my best friend. My best friend is also engaged in polyamorous relationships, but her dynamic is different from mine. She is married and has an online boyfriend that she keeps secret from her family, although her husband is aware of this. She and I have been best friends for 24 years, and I am very close with her mother, stepfather, and father-in-law. I am open about my partners, and my entire immediate and extended family has met both of them. My partners have attended family celebrations with me, as have my best friend's mother, stepfather, and father-in-law, who have welcomed and accepted both of my partners warmly. Recently, my best friend's brother and his wife have experienced issues in their marriage due to past infidelity and a lack of communication. My best friend is hosting a small Christmas Eve party with her parents, father-in-law, brother, and his family. She specifically said she wanted me and one of my partners to attend because she does not want my relationship with my 34-year-old partner to trigger her brother. When I asked her to explain how my relationship would trigger him, she said it was because of his wife's previous infidelity. I responded that their relationship issues are not my problem, and that my relationship is completely different because there are no lies or secrets involved. I am not cheating on my partners, and I refuse to hide my relationship with my 34-year-old partner. After that, she became quiet and changed the subject. I am now considering not attending a party where one of my partners is not welcomed. I feel uneasy because I do not want to disregard my partner's feelings. I am debating whether I should mention the whole conversation to him. It is disheartening because she is supposed to be my best friend, and it feels as though I should hide my relationship to accommodate her brother. I am uncertain if I should discuss how her comments hurt me or if I should tell my 34-year-old partner about the conversation to avoid hurting him. You behaved properly. Everyone involved is aware of the relationship dynamics, so there's a clear distinction between consensual non-monogamy and cheating. If her brother finds your relationship triggering, it seems unlikely that just having one partner there will solve the issue, especially if he already knows about the other partner. Plus, if you and your friends showed up without the third, people would definitely notice and start asking questions, which could lead to even more awkwardness. It might be worth having a conversation with your friend about how her comment affected you. If she values your friendship, she should be open to discussing it. After all, communication could prevent a whole mess of misunderstandings later on. In the end, if you still feel uncomfortable going, that's perfectly valid too, but at least you'd have talked it through first. In the next story, we dive into a heartfelt dilemma faced by a young adult on the brink of independence. Torn between the comfort of home and the excitement of college life, they grapple with the question, would leaving be a selfish choice or a necessary step toward growth? Get ready to explore the emotions and challenges that come with making life-changing decisions. I was a very quiet child. My parents were divorced. I lived with my father, and I experienced verbal abuse, which caused me to lack social skills as I grew older. Co-parenting began when I was around 9 years old, and my mother was also verbally abusive, needing anger management. She would throw things and break them, and this continued until high school. As I grew up, I realized I needed to work on my social skills because I would need them in the future. I struggled to talk and communicate with people my age. I also needed glasses, but my parents were unable to provide them. I could not get a job, and my home environment was filled with verbal abuse and occasional physical altercations. In high school, I pushed myself out of my comfort zone and focused on making friendships and improving my communication. I sought relationships to find the love and comfort that my environment had never provided. Unfortunately, I was in a toxic relationship where I was groomed and forced to engage in various activities. I acknowledge that I made poor choices and did not focus on my studies, but many of my decisions were influenced by my surroundings. I just wanted to feel loved and cared for. When my mother found out about my relationship, I was physically punished to the point of numbness. I developed a profound fear. There is little in the world that frightens me anymore. At times, I was beaten severely. While other teenagers worried about where they would eat after school, I dreaded going home because I knew I would be hurt. While others feared getting low grades, I was genuinely afraid for my life. Many mornings, I cried on my way to school. I was also very thin, and there was often little food at home, which hindered my development. Now that I am 18, my relationship with my parents has improved somewhat, but I still feel a lingering fear of being punished if I make a mistake. My mother wants to repair our relationship now that I am an adult. Looking back, I believe my mother was unhappy with her life and the responsibilities of being a parent. She managed to pay the rent and other bills, while my father only contributed to his own car expenses, which did not benefit anyone else. I was nearly mute, and my siblings were too young to help. I have strong negative feelings toward the city we live in because of the memories associated with it, and I would like to attend a college far away to start over. Am I in the wrong if I decide to move out and go to a distant college to rebuild my life? I will need to take out bank loans for my education, but I feel guilty because things have improved. It sounds like there's a lot of heavy stuff going on here, and it's completely understandable to want to break free from that past. Growing up in an environment filled with verbal abuse and fear can really shape a person's outlook, and wanting to move away to rebuild is a natural response to that. It's clear that despite the fear and trauma, there's a strong desire to seek out love and comfort, which is totally valid. Seeking a fresh start, especially in a new city or college, could be a great way to establish a new identity and find healthier relationships. The guilt you're feeling is normal, but prioritizing your mental health and future is important. Sometimes, moving on is the best way to heal, and it sounds like you've done a lot of hard work already. Everyone deserves the chance to create a life that feels safe and fulfilling. In the next story, we dive into a heartfelt dilemma that sparks a debate on gift-giving and intentions. One partner's surprise gift turns into a source of disappointment, leaving them questioning whether they are in the wrong. Get ready to explore the complexities of love, expectation, and the true meaning behind a present. I am a 30-year-old non-binary individual, and my spouse is a 34-year-old non-binary individual. We've been together for over 10 years. To be straightforward, my spouse struggles with gift-giving. They tend to overthink what the perfect gift will be for any occasion and then often do not end up purchasing anything at all. While I have received a few nice gifts over the years, there are many occasions when I do not receive anything. Honestly, this has not bothered me too much, as receiving gifts often makes me uncomfortable. What matters to me is the thought behind what I receive. I have an Amazon list, which we share titled, "Please buy this for me, I want these things," where I add items that I find interesting or would like, but do not wish to purchase for myself. Despite having several items on that list, my spouse has never selected anything from it. I have also started informing my spouse about specific items I want, providing the links to them. These are always things I really want but cannot justify buying for myself. However, those items also do not get chosen. This leads us to this year. Early in the fall, I came across some sponsored ads featuring items I knew would be perfect. They were pre-orders set to be ready in December. They were priced similarly, which helps maintain our budget, as I tend to spend excessively. For my spouse, I found a cute cardigan. For myself, I chose character Crocs. I am not ashamed to say that I truly love Crocs. I immediately sent my spouse the link, along with my size, saying, "Please order these for me." I thought that was the end of it. My order was ready for pickup from the mall, so we went to look around while they packed up my order. I spotted a few items I liked, including a character backpack that reminded me of my father. He loves that character and would appreciate the bag. However, it was over budget, so I decided to put it back. While checking out, I had a few stackable coupons and some rewards. I encouraged my spouse to grab the bag, thinking it would be a nice gift for my father. As we were leaving, my spouse commented that it was good we visited that store because now they had something for me. I was confused but thought they might be worried about my Crocs not arriving in time and had picked up something for me to unwrap just in case. This brings us to last night when we exchanged gifts. I gave my spouse their gift, feeling a bit guilty because I had only the cardigan and a blanket poncho, but they seemed to appreciate both. Then it was my turn to unwrap my gift. I opened the character bag and felt confused. Along with the bag, there were a couple of Lego flower kits, which I do like, and a Lego character kit that I had added to the cart 3 months ago. Now I feel defeated. If I had only received the Lego kits, I would be happy with my gifts, even though I would be a little disappointed about the Crocs. At least I would know that gift was truly meant for me. Instead, I am left with a bag that, while cute, is not my style. I do not want it and will not use it. I am considering bringing this up with my spouse, primarily because I do not want to face the stores again to find another gift for my father. It sounds like the whole situation is pretty confusing. I mean, how does someone wrap up a gift that you bought for your dad and give it to you? It's totally reasonable to feel let down when your spouse gives you something you specifically wanted for someone else. It's definitely worth having a chat about it to express those feelings so future gifts can be more thoughtful. And hey, if it were me, I'd just treat myself to some Crocs while I'm at it. In the next story, we dive into a gripping dilemma that challenges the boundaries of friendship and personal boundaries. Imagine being caught in a whirlwind of emotions when a friend calls for your support, but you feel the weight of your own needs pulling you in another direction. Join us as we unravel the complexities of this heartfelt situation and explore whether it's truly selfish to prioritize your own well-being over a friend's request. I understand that this sounds crazy, but let me explain. I was on a call with a friend, and we will call her Emily. While we were talking, Emily asked if she could tell me something, but she requested that I not share it with anyone. I agreed and asked her what she wanted to say. Emily informed me that our mutual friend, whom we will call Lily, was speaking negatively about one of my closest friends. Since Emily is not friends with Lily, she felt she could not confront her directly. I was very upset, so I decided to tell my best friend, thinking that would be acceptable. My best friend confronted Lily, but Lily denied the accusations. She insisted that Emily must have misheard something because she would never say anything like that. Lily mentioned that she would talk to Emily about it later. I suggested that it might be better for me to talk to Emily since I was the one who shared the information. That day, there was a party at Emily's house, so I decided to inform her earlier. When I told Emily, she seemed angry. Throughout the party, she grew increasingly annoyed with me over things that normally wouldn't bother her. After leaving the party, I texted her 2 hours later to apologize. My apology was lengthy, but to summarize, I acknowledged that I had betrayed her trust by sharing what she had confided in me. I expressed my regret and said I understood if she needed a break. After that, she blocked me on everything. However, one day a mutual friend, whom we will call Denise, texted me to say that Emily was wondering if I would sit by her during lunch. For context, Emily and I had discovered we had the same lunch period at school and had planned to sit together. I was confused and replied that I did not know. Denise responded that Emily wanted a yes or no answer. I said no because I learned that Emily wanted to sit with me to please our mutual friend who wanted us to be friends again. I did not want to sit by Emily just to make someone else happy. A few minutes later, Emily unblocked me and texted, "Fine, I want you to sit by me." There, I said it. Just don't do anything foolish like that again. My ex is going to sit at the same table, and I didn't want to be alone. We won't be as close as we were again, but I promise I will get over it. I replied with a yes. She then told me that I would still be blocked on everything and became upset that I was not texting her as I used to. When she asked why I was being awkward, I did not want to argue, so I started texting her like I used to. The first day of school arrived and I sat with her for lunch. Her ex ended up not showing up and did not appear for several days. Sitting next to Emily was awkward, and I did not enjoy it. I decided to sit with friends who did not have me blocked. Now she seems very upset with me. My friends say I did the right thing, but I am not sure. Am I in the wrong? You handled things appropriately. It sounds like Emily is trying to control the situation and manipulate your friendship based on what others think. If she really valued your friendship, she wouldn't have blocked you and then expected you to jump back into things as if nothing happened. It's totally understandable that you didn't want to sit with her just to please someone else. Relationships should be based on mutual respect, not on managing someone else's drama. Plus, it seems like Emily is more focused on her own feelings than on what you want. You're definitely better off sitting with friends who appreciate you. In the next story, we dive into a holiday dilemma that has everyone talking. Imagine facing the ultimate family showdown when your partner's mom expects you for Christmas morning, but you're determined to stick to your own plans. Will this decision spark joy or chaos? Let's find out. I am a 22-year-old female and have been with my boyfriend, who is 21 years old, for 3 years. This year marks our first Christmas living together. We have been struggling to finalize our Christmas plans to ensure we can see everyone. My boyfriend grew up in a smaller family, so holidays have always been fairly simple for him. He would spend Christmas Eve with his mother's family, Christmas morning with his parents, and Christmas afternoon with his father's family. In contrast, I grew up in a large family, as both of my parents are divorced. This resulted in my never having Christmas morning at home with my parents. Instead, I had 6 different Christmases, 3 on Christmas Eve and 3 on Christmas Day, pretty much until high school. It wasn't until I was about 19 that I finally got to enjoy Christmas morning at home without rushing off somewhere. This year, I want to keep our plans small and simple. My boyfriend's mother wants us to open gifts with her without the extended family present, which I understand. However, we already have many other plans that make it challenging to fit that in. 2 of these plans involve his parents as well. We will be seeing them on Christmas Eve with his mother's mother after visiting my grandmother, and we will see them on Christmas afternoon with his father's father after visiting my parents. His mother wants us to stop by on Christmas morning before going to my mother's house for gifts. This would result in 3 stops for us, not to mention the 30-minute drive one way to let our dog out across town at some point during the day. Initially, I agreed to the plan, but I am becoming increasingly overwhelmed by the thought of it. I spoke with my boyfriend last night and suggested that we exchange gifts with his parents after everyone leaves on Christmas Eve, and he said that was fine with him. I then texted his mother to let her know. However, she did not respond to me directly. Instead, she messaged my boyfriend today, expressing that she did not like the idea. Now I am unsure of what to do. I tried to discuss it with my boyfriend, but he does not seem to understand my stress and discomfort about seeing his family 3 different times for the same holiday, while also trying to fit in my own family. He also struggles to tell his mother no, which complicates the situation. As I write this, he has rolled over and gone to sleep, leaving me to grapple with my options. So am I in the wrong for informing my boyfriend's mother that we will not be visiting on Christmas morning? It's definitely a tricky situation when it comes to balancing family time during the holidays, especially with so many different families involved. The key here is communication. It really should be your boyfriend's responsibility to manage his mom's expectations, especially since he knows how overwhelming the holiday schedule can get. Instead of cramming in 3 visits on Christmas Day, it might be better for him to have a candid conversation with his mom about finding a better way to spend quality time together, perhaps by planning meetups before or after the holiday itself. A good approach could be to set aside specific days for each family, such as doing something fun with his mom in advance, which allows for more meaningful interactions without the stress of a packed schedule. It sounds like they might just need to streamline their plans a bit to avoid turning Christmas into a chaotic rush. Finding a balance between both families and ensuring that they actually enjoy the holidays rather than just checking off boxes is so important. In the next story, we dive into a heartwarming holiday dilemma that could spark some serious family drama. Picture this: a Christmas gathering where long-buried feelings surface, and one family member struggles with the idea of including an estranged parent. Will they find a way to bridge the gap, or is this request a recipe for disaster? My 60-year-old brother married a covert narcissist, and they were together for 40 years. Despite our warnings, he was smitten and refused to listen. His now ex-wife isolated my brother and his son from our family, which made it difficult for us to see them. 5 years ago, my nephew decided to go no contact with them. I was horrified to learn that my brother unfairly blamed my nephew for his mother's behavior, both as a child and an adult. He scapegoated my nephew for all the problems in their household that his wife caused. According to my nephew, my brother believed it was essential to maintain a united front with his spouse, no matter the circumstances. He allowed her to make all the decisions to keep the peace and would become angry with my nephew whenever his wife was upset. It took losing his son for my brother to finally recognize the true nature of his wife. Their divorce was finalized after my nephew went no contact. My brother attempted to rebuild his relationship with my nephew, but my nephew refused. Thankfully, my nephew reconnected with our family 4 years ago, and they have been in regular contact since then. My brother wanted to repair the relationships he lost due to his marriage. I spent hours expressing my concerns about how he treated his son, and I was disgusted by his behavior. He bowed his head in shame, knowing he had no defenses or excuses. I told him that, although I was disgusted with his actions, he is still family, and I refused to isolate him like his ex-wife did. I set 2 conditions for him to come around. First, I will not serve as a go-between between him and his son, nor will I try to convince his son to reconcile. This is the consequence of his actions. Second, he can only attend family gatherings if his son is not present. His son will always take priority. For the past 3 to 4 years, my nephew has attended every single holiday, which I did not expect since he lives in a different state. I thought he would have other plans sometimes, so my brother has been unable to attend any gatherings. Recently, I gently told my nephew that I do not condone his father's behavior at all. However, I mentioned that his father is not getting any younger and suggested allowing him to attend this Christmas. I assured my nephew that he is still welcome to come, but I understand he may not want to be around his father. My nephew replied that I promised he would have first pick, and if we did this, he would cut us off. I explained that I was not trying to break my promise. I just did not expect him to come to every single holiday given his distance. I think you're at fault here. Your nephew really values his family time, especially after everything he's been through with his toxic parents. It's clear he feels safe and accepted in your family, and to suddenly change the rules on him is really hurtful. When he was finally given the chance to come to every gathering, it meant a lot to him, and telling him you didn't think he'd actually take you up on that offer is just so wrong. He's been emotionally scarred by his past, and your actions could push him away when he's finally trying to build those family bonds. It's crucial to recognize that your brother's abusive history has impacted your nephew deeply, and you have to handle this delicately if you want to maintain a relationship with him. Don't make promises you're not willing to keep, or you risk losing him for good. Thanks for watching. When you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. To finish listening to all the stories, check out the playlist in the description.